my stress. Check it out. Feel the rhythm on the bass bar. Better feel the rhythm on the bass bar. If any woman comes around, run test me. Jump it up, it up.
Hey, Alpha Empath Universe, it's me,
Oh no.
Adisa Reigns. Oh, cause you now
Yeah.
you want to now you want to refix the goddamn screen in the middle of the goddamn live. You know what?
I'm fucking tripping. I'm tripping like a motherfucker. I'm sorry.
You know
Yeah.
what? Don't you do this shit to me, cause you finna get embarrassed. I saw what you just did. Y'all didn't see what she did, but I saw what she just did. Look, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to my students, I coach them live. Nothing is rehearsed. Nothing is scripted. They just meet me like 5 minutes before we about to get ready to coach, and we just let it flow. That is what happens. So, Latoya Rose, she's one of my students in Dragon Hearted Tantra. And yes, Latoya has lots of masculine energy, and it is beautiful masculine energy. It makes her successful in business, but it also makes her very conscious of her image. So when we got on today, she looked at that screen. She's like, "Oh motherfucking no, it ain't finna motherfucking happen today," and she had to change everything around. So we're going to be talking about divine unions today, which is one of the concepts that she really needs a lot of help in. And if you resonate with Latoya, it's probably because you are a lot like her. Okay, so let me give you some of her background. Okay, so Latoya she's a serial entrepreneur. She's a serial entrepreneur, which means that she has found many, many businesses because empaths tend to be multi-talented. See, y'all think y'all fooling me? Y'all ain't fooling me. I know y'all multi-talented. I already know that. When my students come to me, they have all experienced some level of success. Am I correct, Latoya? Haven't you? Yeah, they all be experiencing a level of success. So then if they've already experienced success, what is the point of even getting with me? Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Because it doesn't matter if you gain the whole world at the cost of losing your soul. And you can be financially stable, you can be well to do, you can have this beautiful corporate image, but you still feel like you're dying on the inside. And the reason why you feel like you're dying on the inside is because your feminine energy is worn against your masculine energy, and they don't know how to love each other. They do not know how to love each other. And that's why people come to me. You see, you're going to have to learn how to get your heart in order. Not get your house in order, not get your image all squeaky clean. Now, that's going to come later, but you're going to have to learn how to get your heart in order. And a lot of times, when empaths tend to have lots of masculine energy, they ignore all their feminine needs, like falling in love. Like they'll be like, I did that shit, and when I do it, I just jump off a motherfucking cliff. I hurt my motherfucking head, and I ain't doing that shit no more. And that's how they be like. They be like, I ain't doing it no more, no more. So they come to me, and I got to deal with their heart again, so I can let them know, okay, young lady, we're gonna fall in love this time, but this time we're not gonna go running 90 miles an hour and dive off the cliff. We're not gonna do it that time. We're gonna understand ourselves and understand how we need to qualify the people that enter into our hearts, because our hearts are sensitive. And if the wrong people don't qualify and we don't have things in place called boundaries, we're going to allow the wrong person in, and they're going to kill us spiritually. And then we're going to get depressed, and we're going to drown ourselves in our work. We're not going to do that this time. Right, Latoya? Right. Now, Latoya, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, because I want you to explain to the people as I stay on your ass, and I stay on your ass. Like, I deny more posts from you than I deny from anybody.
I know, and I'll be like, damn.
Yeah, you be like, why this bitch won't give me a break?
But it's good because you want, you know what it is? It's good though, because I know that you really want to make sure that I'm getting it and I'm not watering this shit down. But girl, I'll be like, just let me be flawed.
But I can't because you and most of my students are used to getting by because they're so fucking talented. Nobody really stays in their ass because they're always the best at whatever they do. So they need me to stay in their ass because they are called to teach more than just part. They're called to be whole. And you are no different. You are called to be whole. Now, some people the way that they live this life is they polarize themselves and they say, you know what, I am going to take on the masculine responsibilities, and whoever I'm going to be with, they have to take on the feminine responsibilities. And you know, that business model works. It does, but it doesn't work for heart-centered business owners. And let me tell you why. Because you'll get somebody like Latoya here that wants to take on the masculine role and, you know, go out and provide and protect, and you know, she wants to do all of that, and then she'll have the audacity to come home and be like, now treat me like a motherfucking woman. And she hasn't even connected to the woman within her. Now you see, that's when it's wrong, y'all. You're wrong for that. If you're gonna polarize yourself, motherfucking polarize your goddamn self. I mean, like, seriously. Don't flip-flop. Like, men hate when they sign up for one version of you and then they get into the relationship, you like, ta-da! Here's that other side. And that's what we like to do. They be thinking that we all hardcore and shit because we be, you know, running shit. And then when we get home and we be crying and shit, and they be like, where the fuck that bitch come from? Like, I did not sign up for this sensitive ass person. Like, and you're like, but she's always been here. And they're like, well, why the fuck you didn't show her? Why you was trying to act like
Because, and that's the part though. Like, when people are attracted to an ambitious woman, specifically, like overly ambitious woman like myself, it's like, damn, you don't know that at some point or another, a bitch ain't that fucking hard.
well,
Like,
stop
you
acting
know,
like
that's the
that.
part. But why would it surprise? That's the part that blows my mind, is why would someone think that a person would want to even always have to be on like that? Like, at some point or another, I need to be able to turn that shit off. And what I get, and the reason why I came to you is because I get it where, yeah, a person may meet me in a certain arena where, yeah, my masculine gotta be on. You know what I'm saying? And my feminine, just overly being feminine, it just, for me, don't work in that particular arena. So then when they see me in a different arena and I'm more soft and I'm more vulnerable, whatever, and they act shocked and then they try to like punk me, then it'd be like, hold up, motherfucker, don't get it twisted. You ain't about to just run over. You know, so then I blow up. And that's why I came to you, so I could figure out what you call divine union. I could feel it, figure out the balance within, so I could stop like burning everybody down and cutting everybody off immediately when they don't humanize me. I wasn't humanizing myself, and so that is what we've been working on, is Toya humanizing Toya first, so other people can respect the human side of Latoya.
Oh, yes, Latoya. That's exactly what I'm trying to get you to understand, because you can't expect anybody to give you what you don't give you. And that is like, it's literally like being a serious hypocrite. Now, I've done it too. So I'm not judging you because I have done that shit too. I'm like, motherfucker, love me. And I didn't even have the audacity to love myself. Like, such a fucking hypocrite, and be mad too. I'd be like, bitch, I am a good person and you should love me. And my spirit was saying, bitch, we are a good person, so why the fuck you ain't loving us? Right. You're on mute, Latoya. You're on mute.
Oh, my bad. Right? Why don't we love each other? Exactly.
Right. And as we begin to love ourselves, we begin to also recognize and see that the relationships that we begin to attract in our lives start being different. Now, before we can see that abundance of those relationships, there's a process that you're going to have to go through. People think that loving yourself is easy. The way that we love ourselves predominantly is taught to us by our families. And if your family was like my family, we call each other family, but it ain't a very loving family. It's more like a very codependent, dysfunctional family. So the way that we learn to love ourselves is also codependent and dysfunctional. And we tend to think that that is love. We tend to think that somebody being codependent with us and they can't give us no space. They always want to be under us. They controlling every move. They checking on us 20. We tend to think that that's love because that's what we desired in the dysfunction of our households. And on this healing journey, on this journey of monetizing your heart, you got to get that part of you fixed. Like, nah, no, there's not going to be, you cannot get around that, because as a heart-centered business owner, if you forego the process of really understanding your heart, you're going to create a business that poisons this world because your heart is poisoned. Yeah, It's going to poison this world. Our the environment and the culture that we're in today. We have all these businesses. We're afraid of our children can't just go anywhere and just grab a bite to eat because we're afraid of what's going to be put in their mouth. And why are we afraid of that? A person that's a heart-centered business owner, their heart is going to be in that business, and they're not going to be able to do that. Because to produce it in their business also means that it's produced in their heart, which is also killing them. They're connected. That's compassion. That's why I call myself the alpha empath, because you cannot be alpha. Alpha is a brainwave. You cannot be alpha unless you are connected to the common passion of yourself and your 3D world. Your heart-centered business cannot be taking shortcuts, because if it takes shortcuts, and the masculine tends to do that, if it takes shortcuts, you're going to produce a product that's not worthy of you. So when you take shortcuts in your heart, don't think you ain't going to take them in your business, because you will. The way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. And that's why I stay on your ass, because like I couldn't take shortcuts. I tried. Like I seriously tried, Latoya, to take, because I didn't want to put in the motherfucking work. I just did not. I thought healing was going to be easy. Nobody, like, from the movies and shit, healing just you supposed to numb your whole reggae cum and get a large settlement from your fucking divorce and then live your best life. That's what's supposed to happen. That's what happened on the Tina Turner story. But that ain't how it really is. In the midst of that big settlement, there's lots of tears. Lots of tears. There's lots of epiphanies. There's lots of heartache, because you're having to let go of parts of yourself and the people that came with those parts of yourself. You're being asked to release those. And that hurts. It hurts a lot. And during that time, this is how we become the alpha. We can either self-sabotage ourselves in that moment and go back to our vomit. We can go back to those relationships that we know that they'll never fulfill us. We know that they'll always betray us. Or we can decide to be compassionate on ourselves and believe that we deserve better and take a leap of faith. Go ahead, Latoya.
I had to exhale on that one.
Why are you exhaling?
I exhaled on that shit because, whoo, man, it's hitting home, and I'm like, okay. As much as I believe in myself to do any and everything else, I don't know why that has been the hardest chord. The cutting of the mama wasn't hard. Potential cutting of my daddy, even like the behavior or what I was codependent on. But it's that family part, like that codependency of, do they finally see me? Oh, they finally do see me. But then, like you just said, realizing that they're really just a distraction in your life. And when you're in this journey of realizing like what is healthy and what's toxic behavior and what's good for you and what's not good for you, it does hurt when you realize that you got to move on from family, especially. It doesn't matter if they finally see you or not, because even if they are clapping and celebrating you the way that you think that you deserve to be, unfortunately, at some point or another, they're going to be who they are. And sometimes what I've noticed is that, and you've taught on this, and I'm becoming to see it more often, where I have to pause when something is brought to me, and I have to say to myself, my response to this, is it because I feel like this person's manipulating me and it's the principality of it all and I got to show them that I'm witty with it? Or is this something that's going to cultivate me, so I just need to just shut up, listen, and not feel like I got to defend myself? And like getting to that point, that has been some of the challenge, specifically this last week, where unconsciously things were happening and I was responding a certain way. And trying not to overly kick myself.
I understand. Latoya, like I said, the healing journey is not easy, and loving ourselves It's one of those life lessons that's the hardest for us to learn. But there's no other kind of way that you're going to create a heart-centered business unless you do that. And you cannot. I never understood how Joshua could say shit like, "Who is my mama and my daddy except them that do the will of my Father in heaven which sent me?" That shit sound heartless than a motherfucker. I mean, like literally, that shit sounds heartless than a motherfucker. Your mama, the Mary who birthed you, is that the motherfucking dough? And you in the middle of your heart centered business, and you said, "Hey, listen, unless a person serving the Father that sent me, I don't even know them motherfuckers." Like,
But you
god
know
damn.
what? But you know what? In our community, especially, we're taught to, you follow Christ and you need to read your Bible and you need to go pray. But then when you start coming across scripture like that and you start to uphold that shit in your life, and then them same motherfuckers that instilled the word in you tries to then, challenge that or challenge your understanding of what that shit looks like. And that's when we get to you and it does. People say, oh y'all cult and this, that, and the other. No, motherfucker, I just ain't got time for you to try to run my life no more. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you're gonna call things out as it is when you don't want to own your own shit, but don't try to make it bad for me. You know what I'm saying? So man, whew, yeah.
Listen, it's you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, when like god damn, like that word used to trigger the fuck out of me. That word cult used to trigger the fuck out of me because I know that the principles I teach are not the wisdom of this world, because I don't give a fuck about the wisdom of this world, because that shit ain't got me where I needed to motherfucking go. It has not got me to where I need to go. This world, I'm not patterning myself after it at all. I'm not caught up in the cares of the world at all. So when you do something that is outside of the norm and people need to challenge you, they are going to label you as something. But I'm not a normal person, and I never have been one. I never have been one. So I just decided to embrace that shit. I just decided to embrace that shit and not trying to be funny. Give me one great leader. One great leader. I love Joshua. I don't really fuck with Christianity, but I love Joshua. And you can't tell me that Joshua wasn't called names like that. Oh, I know he was. I absolutely know he was. I bet you every disciple was too. And it's because you're trying to break away from the traditional. But we have seen what the traditional has gotten us, and it's time for us to evolve into a next level. So don't let those words, like, don't let it stop your growth, because you've seen your growth and you've experienced it. The problem is you're experiencing love for yourself and they're not partaking of it, and that's a problem.
And that's what I have to check myself in,
What do you
because
mean?
now, are you gonna keep going regardless if these motherfuckers is clapping for you? Regardless if
Mm,
people are acknowledging the fact that there is a change. See, okay, case in point, there was a couple people, I met with some of my students or whatever, and the parents were like, "Man, there's something different about you." And I said, "Well, I've just kind of been doing some spiritual working, inner work, light work, dark work since about March." And they're like, "Oh, I see the difference," and I loved it and I appreciated it, but my intention wasn't to gain that awareness of my new self from them.
it
So
was
that's what
to
I
gain
mean
it from your family.
so that's what I mean when I say I've had to check myself, and you're
Mm,
checking me, because just like my intention was not to gain that acknowledgement from her, but yet I'm hoping that when I go around family, that they see that there's something different and they have this level of admiration, and they either
mm.
fall back or they bow down, but then I'm not getting that. And even though in the midst of it, I may still kind of stay, smiling or whatever the case may be, unconsciously, obviously in my energy, I'm exuding something that's saying I'm still codependent and I still need that validation.
Yes, 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 yes. Let's get on. Let's stay. We're gonna end in a few minutes here, Toya. Let's stay in that codependent strand there. When you grow up in a family and all they've taught you is codependence, you literally do think that that's love. You have to learn how to stand on your own first before you can get those great riches. And when I'm talking about great riches, I'm really great riches for me. Yeah, it does include money, but it includes connection. It includes connection, and it includes village. See, everybody wants a village. Everybody wants a village. But the reason why the village can't function is because people that are codependent want to make up a village. And it just creates chaos. A village is for independent people to become interdependent. That means they all know how to carry their own shit. And that's what qualifies them for village. You just trying to figure out, hey, I need all of this help because I can't make the decisions to cut shit away that I can't carry. So now I need all of this motherfucking help. That no, cut that shit away. Learn how to carry your own self in your own bag. That's it. And when you do that and you can carry it, then a village like shit, that's a person we want to come into the motherfucking village. But you come in carrying your 28,000 goddamn bags and stuff, talking about the village is here to help me. No, you finna be a fucking drain on the goddamn village. And I know that that sounds heartless, but that's really how it is. Like, seriously. I look at all of these people that say, I want to help everybody that cannot help themselves. Well, if you really want to do that, you're going to have to stop playing and really get serious about your heart-centered business. And you're going to have to really make it flourish. Because once your heart-centered vision flourishes, then you can get to that point where you can help people and donate millions of dollars and pay for people's college funds and do all of that shit. But you can't do it at the point that you at now. You can't do it at the point you're at now. All you're going to create is a codependent, fucking chaotic mess. That's all. And you got to do better than that. Focus on you. I know you were brought up in a family that taught you to focus on everybody else except yourself, but you're going to have to flush that belief system down the toilet and understand that you're going to have to focus on you and focus on what makes you feel like you're flying, what fills you with joy. You're going to have to figure out the systems and the processes that make you happy. I was in a class yesterday, a yoga class, and I was in it, and the class had people in it, and I walked in, and I was like, ooh, I fucking hate this goddamn instructor. I hate this instructor. Her energy was just, it was like a robot just going through the motion. She was doing everything right in the masculine. She was giving me everything I need, but her heart was not attached to the teachings that were coming out of her mouth, and my body felt that shit. So I got up, rolled up my mat, and walked the fuck out. Walked the fuck out. And people were like, you know, well, I went into the massage room, and people will think that that kind of behavior is rude. It's not rude. This world is filled with people that are running businesses with no fucking heart. And that shit is killing our fucking spirits. I'm going to detach from anything that don't have heart in it. I don't give a fuck if it's called family. I come around you and my body is crying out. My fucking body is crying out to get out of this situation. And I'm staying because my mind is saying, don't be rude. This is not a heart-centered business. This is slavery. No, I'm going to get the fuck out, and I'm going to lead you by example. I'm not going to sit up here and have my child, nor am I going to have myself in a situation of a teacher that has no goddamn heart. And empaths have hearts. But in order for them to monetize their heart, they first need to learn how to garden their heart. And that takes more time than anything, because you absolutely have to throw away everything that you have been taught. You have to throw it fucking away. And then you have to relearn that shit after you know who the fuck you are. And the beauty about you, Latoya, is I know as soon as you get that feminine part right, I don't have to teach you the masculine. I really don't have to teach any of my students the masculine. They already know how to get successful on their own. What I have to teach my students is the fucking heart and how much care and attention it really does need. Because when they reflect it within their own self, then it reflects into their 3D world. And I want you to have every loving relationship in your life that you need to have. Every single one of them. But you got to pay the price by loving your heart first and understanding your heart. And when you understand your heart, then you're going to also understand what kind of divine partner you got to have. See, you picking people, but not understanding you got to understand that motherfucking heart. They can't just throw down good dick. No. They got to do some other shit too. But dick is important.
Dick is important now, friend.
I listen. I read your posts. I know that dick is important to you. Okay?
That's why when you have said, I said, I don't know. I still right now I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna respond to you. Because I'm like, girl, I can't articulate why that's important, but that motherfucking post was goddamn important. So I put it over there because I said they'll understand where I'm coming from.
Listen. I understand where you're coming from. I understand that dick and good dick is important because we are passionate women, and so shit, we like passionate motherfucking men. I get it, but you're gonna have to understand the passions of your heart. You got to understand that first. You cannot just expect external passion from your partner without understanding the passions that emanate from your heart. It's ass backwards and it's unbalanced. It's unbalanced. And every time you try to do that, you're going to be building your house on sand. And when the winds come and when the storms blow, it's going to fucking fall every single time. It's going to begin in the personal life and then it's going to matriculate down into the business. Yeah. And it's okay. It's okay. Okay. So listen, if you are resonating with this conversation that me and Latoya are having, and you figure that you want to understand your heart a little bit more, maybe you feel called to some type of heart-centered business, but you don't even know where the fuck to start, then I want to encourage you to come to my class, Dynamic Metaphysical Teachings. I teach it every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. CST. If you want to come to this class, just comment below golden ticket. If you comment below golden ticket, Latoya Rose will send you an invite. One time only. One time only. One time only, okay? It's not going to cost you a dime. It's not going to cost you a dime because my classes are subscription based, okay? So we're just going to let you come in one time. The cost of the class is normally $75. It's not going to cost you anything, but maybe I can say something to you that time that you're on it that's going to really, really touch your heart. If so, comment below golden ticket, and we love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Toodles. Bye-bye.